Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So this video is now the start of the commerce undergrad career expo that we meant to start for a while. Starting with myself, obviously representing, see the hoodie. So yeah, so just a brief intro on myself. So my name is Lwandile Mapuza. So I grew up mostly in Nyanga, in Cape Town, and I did my high school in US Lebanon High. I did some grades at Ulfatega Primary School, and also did all my primary school in John Palmer Primary School, which is also in Nyanga. So yeah, man. So this video is just for somebody who's thinking about doing this degree, which would be the Bachelor of Business Science, specializing in finance with accounting. So I'll be giving you like an overview on what type of things you kind of get exposed to within this course, and what are the challenges I faced while doing the course, and also what I enjoyed the most about doing this course. And also then at the end I'll sort of be giving an advice on like somebody who's thinking of doing the same degree I did, and what can they look out for, or what must they do in high school to prepare to do something like this in campus. So yeah, the degree is obviously in commerce. In commerce I did mine in UCT. So it's a really I'll start with what sort of made me choose this degree. It's just basically seeing that it's accounting, because I did accounting at high school. So when I saw accounting, it's sort of the same thing. I was like, let me just do this accounting because I'm already doing accounting already at my high school. So let me do that. I was stuck between BCom and business science. And it's a whole crazy story for another day how I ended up on business science. But anyway, we're here and we did it and we survived. So yeah. And then essentially what influenced me choosing this degree was just basically being familiar with accounting from campus, from high school to campus. And then it just made sense to me to just pick this degree. That's why I did it. Yeah, man. And then so the degree, on around the first year, you get exposed to your accounting, your maths, and some economics. So that's generally like how first year goes if you're doing the Bachelor of Business Science, finance with accounting. And then and then also in second year, that's when you really start to see the difference between the BCom in financial accounting and the Bachelor of Business Science financial accounting. Because on the BCom side, on second year, because they're finishing the following year, if people pass, I'm assuming everybody just passes. Yeah, so on the second year, BCom people start to focus more on like higher level accounting, so they get exposed to your like financial reporting tool, and then if they did one the previous year. So they're already preparing for, there's like some auditing also going on. So they're preparing for final year next year. Whereas on the business science side, you now get all these, this biz law. You get introduced to your second major in second year, which is your finance. So you might do some financial management in that and some stats. You get to do more stats if you did business science as compared to if you did BCom in financial accounting. So that's basically your second year as a business science. And then your third year, provided you met the requirements for your finance, that's when you jump back in again on financial reporting. You'll be doing financial reporting 2, and then also you get to do finance 2A and 2B, which is like the first and second semester courses. There's a lot of business related courses within business science. As you can imagine, it's like 1 year longer than the BCom. BCom was like normally 3 years, and then business science is like 4 years normally. So this is like the minimum years. Yeah, obviously we fail, and then, but we're not gonna get into that. So that's just basically that, man. And what I struggled with the course, it was just the finance side. Obviously it's more finance if you're doing Bachelor of Business Science, finance and accounting. So not really knowing what happens with the companies, you not really don't know. No, you see these companies every day, your supermarkets, your retailers, and then so when you do finance, you'll get exposed to the financial side of these companies. So that I enjoyed, seeing how these companies got their funding, how they operated, your working capital calculations, to see how these retailers are buying stuff on credit and then selling them on cash, sorry, and just having those nice working capital cycle of having just essentially using the supplier's money to fund your business. That was the one of the highlights of the company, of the course, doing valuations, and you get to learn about shares. Prior to me doing this degree, I really didn't know much about how shares work and what's the share equity and all this dead thing. You just see a store and you buy stuff and you go. You don't really get to see the behind the scenes of the stuff that really happens within the company. So that was a good introduction, and that's what I enjoyed. One of the things I enjoyed more was doing the course. And then and then another one, also to be exposed in economics. Even though we did economics in primary school, no, we did EMS in primary school. Economics is high school. Economics is high school. So I was just having to take it further on campus. It was also, to see all this, how the whole country works, or it's supposed to work in theory. So that was that. And I enjoyed around that, and I struggled with more of one of the challenges I faced within the degree, because you're too focused on these doing calculations. That's where you get the marks. You understand why you're wrong. There's methods to do stuff, and then I personally struggled with doing the other courses that required more on research and words, and then there were just less calculations or no calculations at all. We did some stuff at philosophy, and those courses were challenging to me. Marketing, because now they were sort of outside your calculation, because we have all these pricing models, we have all these dividend discount models, CAPM models, and then now you have to read and then research and then write, and then you just get a poor mark in an essay, and then you trying to see like how am I wrong, how, and they say no, you didn't put into these kind of words, and then you're just like, for me, I just feel like essays, you can just, I don't know, I've got huge respect people that get high marks on essays, man, because you really know your stuff. There's no things now, just no intro, body, conclusion, and then you're done. So I struggled with learning that. Eventually I got the hang of it, but it was just one of those things where I had to learn how to do it. Now it's fine, I can do it. So that was one of those challenges for me. And I would say an advice I can offer for somebody who's thinking of doing this degree, if you really enjoy, obviously you have to enjoy numbers, and there's a lot of that going on within this degree. So if you enjoy working with numbers a lot, then I would say this is a degree you might want to consider. Also, if you're thinking of just going to the financial service as there's a lot of opportunities just to be in those financial services. So this degree is definitely one of those paths you could take to do those things. And yeah, I mean, and also my advice I would give someone who's thinking of doing this degree, uh, you know, well, firstly, make sure you know your way around numbers. If you don't enjoy doing numbers, then you're probably gonna hate this course because there's a lot of those going around. Even in economics, you think economics, you just read, you eventually you end up having to do some calculations in economics. There's stats that you have to run into, there's maths you have to run into, and then there's finance, you have to do some calculations, and then there's also accounting that you have to do calculations in. So most of this course is just filled with numbers. But if you're somebody who just enjoys a lot of words and research and expressing and writing all this research, then this might not be the degree you want to do. But if you enjoy numbers, then it's definitely a degree for you. So that's that, and that's my advice I would give to people that are thinking about a degree. Obviously, you need to also familiarize yourself with your faculty handbook and see what has changed after because the thing they post in updated handbook like almost every year. So you need to know, and you need to go and read what they want. So as far as the specific marks they require for that degree, because things might change, and then what courses you need to do in high school to actually be considered for this degree. But yeah, I mean, this video is just mainly for just to educate you, to give you an overview of the things that have happened, what can you expect doing a degree, and then what you might find somebody you was enjoying, maybe somebody didn't. I would like to hear your guys' thoughts. If you're thinking about doing this degree, man, whatever question you have, if I know the answer, I'll probably answer and answer to you. And then yeah, man, that's just been it. And hopefully to get more people for other degrees that can speak on their experience, what degree they did, and what influenced them to do their degree. And then from there we can just keep it moving. This is in an attempt to give people more options when they choose their qualifications, that at least now you have an idea of what's happening, and you can actually put a face behind the degree or qualification, whatever you want to call it, because I don't think people open a handbook and read every qualification there is in that handbook and then they decide, okay, I want to do this one. You know, your influence is actually driven by maybe a family member that has done a similar degree, or you know somebody that did it. So when you can put a face behind that degree, then you develop interest for that degree or qualification or whatever it is. And then from the interest, you get to do your own research, and then to see if this is really something that you want to do. It's definitely not feasible to go through the handbook and then decide what you want to do. So yeah, man, this series was inspired by what I've seen on campus, also what I went through, whereby your decision to choose a qualification is really it's very limited. Like out of the hundreds of degrees you could have done, you pick these ones, and obviously a lot of us keep on picking these similar degrees, and then that has an impact on the sector as a whole. Because if a certain group of people only pick these few qualifications, they don't consider others, and then in the industry, when the people start working, you will see less representation of the people that you think you have them. And we can complain that why isn't there representation of these things or whatever. Well, we would have in some cases a valid questions, but it's like sometimes we need to also ask ourselves, from the ground, are we actually doing enough to expose people so that they may develop interest, so that they can be able to be those people that are going to be the first people in their families within that industry, or whatever sector that is. You know, if all of us are doing these particular courses and all of us are competing for the same jobs, and you know, with this high unemployment in South Africa, you know, we need people like spread out, and we can only achieve that if we have you know, like us, like representation within those sectors, and that starts earlier. That starts like high school level, that whereby people are exposed to these things, they know about these things, and then they develop interest, and then they research, and then they become the best in those fields. But that's something that we need to make sure that we inspire these kids, we give them exposure, we give them the tools to be able to study and actually go further with their goals. But it has to start somewhere, and yeah, that's just basically my intention around this whole series, especially for undergrad people. And I think that's like the first, you know, putting that first foot in is really important. So if you are somebody who enjoys around creating awareness around education, man, I would definitely encourage you to subscribe, as I will be also uploading more content like this, so to help people get more exposure with different qualifications. So hopefully to have more people, and then yeah, man, and thanks for watching. Sure.